I'm afraid to say that I have a different opinion. Reason being that if you give responsibility to a particular agency, we are supposed to allow them to.
You signed the report. Sorry? Well, what I have before. Don't you have the report? What I have here is your site. What is this? No. What I have here is your sign. No, I'm just saying, don't you have the report? What I have here is your site. What is this? No. What I have here is your sign. No, I'm just saying, telling you what I have. Okay, it's all right. You can go ahead.
Head of this parastatal, they came and they made a very solid reason why they took their action and why they wanted the security of this country to be manned by government and for the government to be in charge of these processes. Mr. Senate President, distinguished colleagues, as the Maritime head, former Honorable Dakuku Pisa Said, came here and eloquently explained what the allegations are, vis-a-vis his answers and solution to that problem. So I think this report is way too lopsided, one-sided, because the facts are not presented well. We cannot mortgage our security in the hands of some ad hoc arrangement. The government wants to take charge of the responsibility of the security one. Stop distracting me, please. I need protection. I need protection, please.
If anybody wants to comment, I will provide that, but allow him to finish his presentation.
Thank you, Mr. President. So I believe that we shouldn't take the interest of anybody against the interest of Nigeria. And this report, I believe, is not, I am not comfortable with it, and I think we should visit or review this vis-a-vis. If it means calling them, I'm not saying that what they did was right completely, like I said earlier on, but what I'm saying is that this report is lopsided, and it will not help the economy, the security of this country. Thank you very much.
Senator.
Mr. President, I'm not a member of this committee. And I was not a member of the joint committee in any way. But I'm looking at the records and I'm looking at what we have been told by the joint committee members. One thing is clear. What I got from the media before this committee went into action was simple. That somebody was given a job that ought to have been done by the Nigerian Navy and was ripping off the country. That's all that I got. But I'm very, very surprised that I'm sitting down here and I'm looking at it and I'm seeing that the Nigerian Navy that is supposed to do this job does not have the platforms to use to do it. And so, if a private individual is providing something for the Nigerian Navy, for which he has to charge a fee, then some people start and say, oh, he must be taking too much. And a government agency says, no, let us go away from it without providing an alternative. That is where the problem is. Why should an agency of Nigeria want to risk all cargo coming into this country to go back to the old days of piracy and all that? Why? So we need to know why. An agency of Nigeria that has responsibility for protection and everything, turning around to say, let them just go away because they probably only so that they can come outside and say, we are very, very good people and we are not corrupt. I think that we must at all times put the interest of this country first. And the interest of this country also includes making sure that the ease of doing business, the protection of things that are happening in this country must take precedence. And so, I'm looking at the committee that we set. It has always been a tradition that the committees are a microcosm of the Senate. Reports coming from the committees, we look at it. And since the committee has come with not just that, but every other thing that is following, I think that maybe it will be very, very uncharitable to accuse the committee of having a vested interest or something. I'm very glad that what has come out today and what we have seen here is that even if you leave them today to walk away, the Nigerian Navy does not have the capacity, which is unfortunate, very, very unfortunate. And therefore, the Committee on Navy should do something about this so that you give the Nigerian Navy the capacity to be able to patrol our shores. I don't see why an individual will be able to have platforms and the Navy does not have the same platform. That does not really make very good sense. And so, I suppose that we look at the report and confirm this report. Thank you.
Representing the Central. I think there's need for more clarifications, particularly on the area touched by the previous speaker. If you look at recommendation number 3, we said, since no fraud is found in the operation of OMSL and is operating at no cost to government, OMSL should be allowed to continue its operation at the SSA and set a time when a better, a more cost-effective system is put in place by the government. You see, the issue is, before this system came into operation, there were these incessant attacks by pirates. And after a series of meetings by the relevant agencies, MPA, NIMASA, Navy, Ministry of Transportation, they came up with this idea of secure anchorage area. And this system was put in place and the attacks stopped. Now, what MPA has done is to now issue an order, you people should go. The system should stop, but without bringing an alternative system that will replace the present system. What the committee is saying is that for now, this company should be allowed to operate until government comes up with a more effective, better system that will guarantee the security of the waterways. Otherwise, you are going to create a dangerous vacuum. If you tell this company, leave tomorrow, and there is no alternative system put in place by government, it means we are just opening opposed to piracy again. That's what the committee is. That's the meaning of recommendation number 3. So I think that speaker should understand. We are not saying this company should stay there permanently, perpetually. No. If the MPA feels they have a better system to put in place, let them bring out the system so that we will know, then we'll wait and then they take over. But for now, there's nothing that is going to replace this company. We feel it is dangerous to chase away this company and open our waters to piracy again, back to Sukwaya 1, and then most ships will now divert to Togo, Lome, Ghana, and other places. So we believe it is in the interest of this country to allow this company to operate. But it's not this company. Let this last speaker know that this company provides only the vessels. They are operated by Nigerian Navy. They have Navy flags painted in Navy color. So the security is really in the hands of the Nigerian Navy, which is constitutionally empowered to take care of, to do this job. So I think it is not correct for the last speaker to say we are putting the security of this country in the hands of another private company. The security is still in the hands of the Navy, which is constitutionally mandated to do that job. So I don't think there's nothing illegal about this arrangement, but if the MPA, which is empowered to put anything in place for security of the waterways, wants to place it with another system, let them bring that system, then this company can go their way. But for now, It is dangerous to chase them away, a dangerous vacuum.
So
Document that has been given to us as an addendum, I want to plead that after this consideration is enough document for us to research, to know the true position of everything aside this report that is with us. Mr. President, I haven't said this, and I want to say with all sense of sincerity that all agencies, all stakeholders that has anything to do with this were invited, and testimonies were received from each of these agencies. One of the critical stakeholders, the Nigerian Navy, came out clean and blunt to the committee that they don't have the necessary capacity and equipment to secure our waterways. It was crystal clear that they are in shortage of over 150 vessels. That for them to take full charge and responsibility of Nigerian waterways, this is their requirement. And what is simply happening in this secure anchorage area, the SAA, is very simple. This man, who is OMSL, only provide these vessels to the Nigerian Navy. These vessels are taken charge by the Nigerian Navy to secure these waterways. And when NPA appeared before us, NPA is not saying what the job they are doing is wrong. He said just for ease of doing business, that the money charged by this SAA, which is 1,500 for every vessels that come into Nigeria, is what they are against. And SAA is saying, the OMS said that it's very simple. For him to leave if you choose to, that is okay. For you to hire one vessel from him will cost $10,500 per day. As we speak, NIMASA rent vessels for $10,500 a day to secure our waterways. If NIMASA will take this 50 vessels, or the Nigerian Navy, it's $500,000 a day for OMSL. And this man is saying it's better off than charging this $1,500 per ship that comes within the secure anchorage area. It's an option. And as we speak, sir, Nigerian Navy equally informed the committee that there is no alternative solution in place if they ask these people to go. It was clear. Everybody, we have about 40-something at the committee level.
it's simple now.
It's very simple. It's not about anybody is trying to give any suggestion. And in terms of the issue of the fraud, if you remember, there was this 263 billion that comes along with the motion. That is my own area of interest. And when we go into the records, sir, for the last 6 years that OMSL have operated, amount they have received within the 6 years is $16 million as revenue. When you match the corresponding expenditure in terms of traffic into the secure anchorage area, comes to about over $15 million, living with a paltry sum of 1.something million. He has offered, and we asked some of these head of agencies, the NIMASA, everybody who come, this man have to go. Are you ready to take charge? Sir, NPA informed the committee that they've only given out just 4 vessels to the Nigerian Navy. Out of these 4 vessels, only 3 vessels. Out of these 3 vessels, only 1 is functioning to secure our waterways as we speak. NPA informed the committee that they've only provided 3 vessels to the Nigerian Navy. Sir, out of these 3 vessels, only 1 is working. The NPA informed the committee. And Navy is saying they're in shortage of over 150 vessels. It is recorded, it is in the testimony, it is in the document given to us. And the solution we have now is this private investor who is an indigenous company in Nigeria who has gone to borrow money to finance this boat. And he's saying, NIMASA MD told us that to rent a vessel is $10,500 a day. And we are asking, are you ready to take this 50 for $500,000 a day? The answer is no. So what this recommendation has done is to reflect the exact thing that transpired at the committee level and no other attachment. Thank you.
Thank you, Minority Leader. This is not an amendment, so it's expunging. That is, no. The way to go, it has to be an amendment because I have to put the question. So if you don't like it, you vote against it. If you like it, you vote for it. If there is an amendment to it, then we can take the amendment. I don't know whether I'm privileged to make an amendment from this position, but I'm not comfortable with the word commending them. They are just doing business, they are making their money. No. Senator George Thompson Sekibo.
Nobody demand anything, but I want to make a comment before we take a final decision.
Is it about this? Okay.
Mr. President, the Senate, the committee come by this recommendation because of the risk factor. Demand is business, yes. Many Nigerians have money, but may not take that level of business. Now he agreed, brought the vessels without insurance, 63 vessels and boats, and gave them to the Navy. Nigerian Navy has their colors on it. It carries Nigerian flag, and they carry Nigerian naval guns on the vessels, such that today, if there is war, assuming there is an incursion, without seeking for approval from him or seeking for his attention, they can go to war with these vessels. For me, that is a national interest. National interest because waterways are porous. If kidnapper comes, if armed robbers comes, if piracy comes, no one to checkmate them. But the man went to bank and took money and used the money to invest and give to the Nigerian Navy to operate. I think it's national interest. That is why I think we commended him.
I will put the question then. I think this is not the issue for for the Committee on Navy to deal with. It's a matter for the Senate and indeed the National Assembly or government to deal with it. Because if our Navy is this decapacitated, it's a big issue for us. And it's unfortunate we are even discussing it in plenary, that they have only one functioning ship. As a giant of Africa, we should be talking of maybe hundreds of ships. So this is a challenge. This is a challenge to all of us, the National Assembly particularly. We have to do something for the Nigerian Navy. Secondly, I've listened to the arguments and deliberately allowed many of the senior colleagues to speak about this. My understanding is the firm or the company that is providing the platforms or the ship is in business. It's in business because it has been outsourced the provision of platforms. So, if we don't like the platforms and we don't have our own, then we have to take a decision. The decision is how many more months or years are we going to allow this arrangement to continue? How many more months or years are we able to provide our own and ask or cancel this arrangement? Definitely, I think we shouldn't have a vacuum. So I believe that we should go ahead and consider it. But I also have an issue with the recommendation too. Before we put all of them, we put the questions on them. That the OMSL should be commended. Is it not a business? So what is our business in commending them here? They are making money. They are not doing this for free. So I believe that when we come to put in the recommendations, we should be looking at this so that we don't appear like we are stamping some kind of recommendation, or is it commendation on some people, that companies that don't deserve. This is someone who is making a business, making his money. I think we should be worried if he's making too much money out of the arrangement, and if we are not able to beat it down, then we should go for our own, because we should have our own options. So with this, maybe we'll consider the recommendations. There's no provision for information. If you have point of order, you raise point of order. Recommendation 1, that the Nigerian Navy, the Nigerian Ports Authority, and NEMASA should be commended for initiating and implementing a process that led to the provision of enhanced and advanced maritime security in the secured anchorage area SA in the Lagos waters in 2013, that has led in checkmating the high rate of attacks on vessels waiting to berth at the Lagos ports. Those in favor of this recommendation say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Recommendation 2, that Ocean Marine Solution Limited, OMSL, sorry? Let me read it. That Ocean Marine Solution Limited, OMSL, should be commended for its genuine national interest in investing over $400 million into the security at the secured anchorage area SA in particular, and the Nigerian waterways in general, by providing the needed platforms and logistics for the Nigerian Navy to effectively perform 24/7, 365 patrol operations, as well as to provide the required protection for vessels waiting to berth at the Lagos ports. Yes, Senator Barrow Jibril. Thank you. Recommendation 2, that Ocean Marine Solution Limited, OMSL, should be commended for its genuine national interests in investing over $400 million into the security at the secured anchorage area SA in particular, and the Nigerian waterways in general, by providing the needed platforms and logistics for the Nigerian Navy to effectively perform 24/7, 365 patrol operations, as well as to provide the required protection for vessels waiting to berth at Lagos ports. Those in favor of recommendation 2 say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. Nay. The ayes have it. Recommendation 3. Recommendation 3, that since no fraud is found in the operations of the OMSL and is operating at no cost to government, OMSL should be allowed to continue its operation at the SA until such a time when a better and more cost-effective system is put in place by the government. Those in favor of recommendation 3 say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Recommendation 4, that the Nigerian Navy should be properly funded to enable it procure needed vessels to clear the over 150 vessels deficit, to enable them carry out their constitutional responsibilities without over-depending on private maritime logistics support companies, PMLSC. Those in favor of recommendation 4 say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Thank you very much, distinguished colleagues. I think we have a challenge here. The challenge is, if we don't like what this company is doing, we should bring our own. Until we are able to do that, I think we have to continue with the present arrangement. Leader of the Senate.
Thank you, Mr. President.